Hi, thank you for joining us today on our YouTube channel. My name is Ann Madison. I'm the director of Peace Restored. We are a nonprofit that works with women that have been through various difficult life experiences. We do focus on the issues of trauma, abuse, and grief. And we also recognize that often these are um, maybe things that go unsupported, or maybe we feel like we just don't have a place to go to, a refuge, someone who will understand or be able to talk to us. And so many times people just push these things down and just keep on keeping on. And that's not always the best way to help you through your healing process. So if that is your story, if you have experienced a trauma or have gone through abuse, or maybe you just experienced a tremendous grief, or just something that has just been really hard for you, it doesn't have to be hard compared to others, but hard for you is what is important. And we would encourage you to either reach out and go check out our website, which is peacerestored.net, or you can go to, or if you know some other organization that could be of assistance to you, we strongly encourage you to reach out for help. You don't have to do this alone, and there are resources and assistance out there for you. And so if you are new to our channel, we ask you to subscribe to us and follow us. If you start poking around, you'll see that we're relatively new to the YouTube world. And so we wanted to start getting on here, getting a little bit out of our comfort zone, but also sharing a little bit of our knowledge and provide some resources to women or others who might want to know how to deal with various topics. So last month we did a 4-part series on encouragement. And hopefully that was of benefit to you. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, I encourage you to go back and watch that video, which we'll link below this video so you can find those videos. Also, this month we are doing a 4-part series on the topic of stress. We thought that, especially right now, might be an appropriate topic for everyone to talk about, or to maybe it's something that's on your mind, or something that you've been wondering of, how do I work with all this stress that's going on? So before we dive into what is stress, and or what do we do with stress, maybe I'd like to help us talk about 2 things that we often combine together, or can be synonymous together sometimes in our everyday conversation. And it's the topics of stress and anxiety. Often when we speak about stress and anxiety, we'll commingle those words and we'll say, I'm feeling anxious. And we might mean that we're stressed. Or we might say, I'm stressed. And it might actually mean that you're being anxious. And you might be going, well, and what's the difference? I mean, those words seem like they're the same. And they do seem that way. But let me give you some examples, and hopefully that'll help you understand the differences and help you differentiate between those 2 words. So a stress or a stressor is something that comes from an outside of you. So say your taxes are due, or you've been in a car accident, or you've just received some news that isn't very encouraging. What we're going through currently right now isn't out with the COVID-19, and the quarantine could be considered a stressor, because it's something that is outside of our control, outside of us. It's something that we're not doing. Now, anxiety is an internal component. Anxiety is something that happens on the inside of us. So think of things that are related to our thought life, things that we maybe tell ourselves, or we begin to ruminate or focus on. Those are what causes anxiety. So maybe we could take those examples we used a minute ago with the car accident. So say you've been in a car accident. The car accident itself can be a stressful event. But when we begin to think on all the what ifs, or the would have, should have, could have, if you will, if I would have done this, or I could have done this, I could have avoided the accident, or What if my insurance doesn't pay out? What if the person who hit me and caused the accident, what if they're not insured? What if I have to go without a car? What if I can't get to work? And so you start to feel within yourself when you start thinking all of those what ifs, this tension rising within you. And so what happens is our brain is programmed to protect us and to give us tools to be able to get through those times when stress becomes too much. So stress is a normal experience in life. It's something that normally happens every day to everybody. And stress can actually be a good thing, believe it or not. We often correlate the word stress with negativity. But when we have stress, it can actually propel us to greater heights, to be able to move us forward. Think about times of growth in your life when you haven't had a stressor or something that makes you want to move forward or do something different. Often, human nature is that we'll just stay the same or stay stagnant. So stress in itself can be a good thing. It's all in how much stress we experience and what we do with that stress. So let me give you a positive example of that. So say you are someone who is on a swim team or on a sports team of any type, and you are going to be competing. So you feel the stress to want to do better than those that you are competing against. You feel that stress of maybe seeing that the person you're going up against has a better record than you do. So what does that do? That might compel you to practice more or to push yourself more so you can become better at your sport. So it is a positive use of stress. Now, when stress becomes more or becomes so great, and usually it's because it's something outside of our control. And anxiety grows when we try to control it even more. And so it's important for us to know the differences between stress and anxiety because we can give, I guess, stress a bad rap, if you will. So knowing that stress is a positive thing, if we use it well, it's a normal response, a normal experience that we all have. And we get to choose if we're going to use stress for something positive or we're going to allow it to grow to be something bigger. Now, there are times where a stressor is so big and it's outside of our control of what can happen of that event. But what we do get to control is our response and how we interact with that stress. And so what we do or how we interact with that is going to have a profound effect on how we grow or don't grow in that situation. So over the next 4 weeks, we're going to be talking about this topic of stress. And hopefully we'll give you some good tools that you'll be able to integrate into your life. So we'll be talking about it from 3 different key areas, one from a mental health standpoint, one from a spiritual standpoint, and then also we'll be bringing in a story and helping it to hopefully be relatable to you of how stress has impacted this person and how it has been a positive tool in their life and what they've been able to learn from stress. So as you are thinking about stress and working through your own relationship with stress, I'd encourage you to think about a couple of things. 1, how can I respond differently to stress next time? 2, what is within side of my control? And what is it that I need to let go of? Because sometimes it's not about controlling more, it's controlling less. And 3, are there things, people, or something else that I need to learn to trust more instead of trusting in myself only? And then also I'd like you to think about what is it that I can do to help me in times of high stress to where that stress can be a tool to move me forward instead of something that keeps me frozen. So until next time, please like our channel and follow us, as I said before. And if you have any questions or comments, please list them below, and we'll be happy to try to engage with you as best as we can. And we look forward to to sharing more videos with you here in the near future. Hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.